I just found
Can't
out
really
that
tell,
child isn't mine.
but
And my family
it's
knew.
nice as we
They're
can.
asking me to forgive them, and I don't know what to do. I just found out that the child isn't mine, and my family knew. They're asking me to forgive them. I don't know what to do.
What's nice
I'm 32,
is,
and this week I
well, we
learned
just kinda
something
have
that
to
shattered
walk
me
around
into
here
1,000 pieces.
get
The boy
wherever
I raised for 4 years,
going.
the one I call my son,
Now, it
the
is
one who
easy
called
to
me
get
dad,
lost.
with those
I know
little
someone's
eyes that
probably
could
yelling at
stop
me like,
any
"Bean,
storm.
you should mark
He
your
isn't
stuff."
mine.
I know.
We don't
but
share a single cell of DNA.
using some
And the worst part,
basic
the
cues,
worst,
I know
is that my mother
on
and
that
sister knew
side,
from the beginning and never told me. My life up to
the
now
thing
was that of a
was on the
provider.
right.
I married Lucia 10 years ago.
The,
When we started,
little
we had nothing,
pavilion
but we
we were
worked
just in,
hard.
that was on
I
our
worked
right,
double
so-
shifts. I paid for everything.
Smart enough
The
to
house,
see
the delivery,
that is
food,
this
my
little
younger
pavilion
sister's
is on
studies,
our right.
she's 19 now, my
After
widowed
here,
mother's
which means
medications,
you came
and
from there.
everything the child needed.
Let's go up here.
I thought I had a family, a
I'm glad
real
this
one,
turned out-
and
oh,
that
yes,
we
these
were
are
in
the
this
blades.
together. When Tiago was born, I felt that I finally had something that was only mine,
Right, good,
something
good.
worth it.
Let's just
I taught him to
continue
walk,
fighting in here.
to say dad, to ride a bike. I
Come
held
on.
him when he had
Come
nightmares.
on, you bums.
I cried with emotion
Now,
at his
normally in
preschool
hardcore,
performances. He
would
was
I
my
do this?
son,
Maybe.
my life,
Do
but
I have
lately
fire
something
protection
wasn't
on
adding
these?
up.
No.
Once the pediatrician suggested a blood test, and Lucia
there you are.
overreacted. She said it wasn't necessary, that the boy was fine. My mother stepped in to soothe everything. You're exaggerating, son. It's just a fever. Don't put weird ideas in
Oh,
your
I
head.
gotta watch
A
myself.
neighbor also came up once and said,
Eat,
sorry
eat,
if I'm
eat.
out of line, but when your wife was
Probably what
pregnant,
you're yelling
I
at your
saw her
computer right
several
now.
times with a guy in the park. They weren't exactly friends. I ignored it. My sister told me it was
Oh,
bored
there's
people's
just fire
gossip.
up here.
I wanted to believe them because the idea that everything was a lie suffocated me, but I couldn't take it anymore. A few weeks ago, I took a saliva sample from Tiago and one from myself and sent them
go.
to the lab.
All right,
I just needed to
6, I
confirm
think,
it
should
or
be good.
deny it, or die in peace.
For now.
5 days ago, I got the results.
'Cause
No
what's
genetic compatibility. Paternity
2, so that's
excluded,
12.
0%.
I mean,
I
we should
vomited.
probably
I locked myself in the bathroom.
okay,
I
well,
stayed there an hour with my
can't
head on
these
the cold
guys out.
tile. I didn't go to Lucia. I didn't confront her. I went to my mother.
shoot me.
Something inside me told me she knew something, and I was right. She did, and so did my sister. They both knew. They always knew. My mother lowered her gaze and said, Lucia made a mistake. Yes, but that boy needed a father. And you already were one. My
so the
sister,
fire
without a
is the
drop
only
of
thing
guilt,
that's bad
added,
here.
so what? You raised him as your own. That's what matters. Get over it. Get over it. Seriously,
That's not a sword.
am I the only one who cares that they used me like a wallet with legs for years? That they denied me the right
go
to
back and eat
choose,
and let
to
ourselves
know,
heal real
to
quick.
decide what to do with my own life? Am I really the villain for wanting to step away?
Ah.
I don't know what to do. Tiago isn't to blame. I love him,
blades aren't
but
that
every
bad,
time I see him,
you
I
know?
feel he reminds me of a lie everyone chose to maintain. Everyone but me.
Just
Should I forgive
let
them?
yourself
Keep this
heal,
going for the
get the
child,
blaze,
or protect
and then
myself
get
for
in,
once in
get
my
out,
life?
you know.
Sorry if this sounds selfish. I'm writing this
that
from my
bad.
car,
So we have
parked in the
18
rain
blaze
with a
powder right
backpack,
now,
not
minus,
knowing
you
if
know,
I'll
what
go
we
back
need
home
for a
tonight.
brewing
This
stand.
was the day my
Come
world
on,
collapsed.
everybody.
Update 1. After finding out that Tiago isn't my biological son and that my mother and sister
now I'm
knew
just
from the
trying to
start,
get a thumbnail.
I left the house without a plan. I slept 2 nights in the car, another on a friend's
Come on.
couch. My head wouldn't stop, and the worst part was I still missed them,
Alright.
despite everything. Then the messages began.
I would
First
like some more
Lucia,
blazes, though.
crying,
Now,
begging. I didn't want to
in
hurt
the
you.
hardcore
It was a
world,
mistake from the past.
Season
The boy
11,
loves you. Please don't
would like
destroy
to
the only good thing we
build a
have.
blaze
Then my
farm.
mother. You're letting anger cloud your judgment. Go to
Is that,
therapy,
like,
son.
back to immediate
You're
death
seeing
now?
ghosts where there aren't any. And my sister,
Okay, let me
in her
eat.
classic passive-aggressive tone,
It's about 20
stop
blaze
playing the
powder,
victim.
which I think should be
Thousands of
fine.
men raise kids who aren't theirs. Don't be another one
If
of
we get
those
a
who
cleric,
abandon.
do they trade blaze
And the
powder?
worst is that I believe them, because pain blinds you. And when everyone you love tells you
Since
you're
our
wrong,
shield's on the
you
way
start to
out,
doubt
we'll
yourself.
Try
So
one
I
more
agreed.
spawning
I went back
session
home
with
and
these guys
accepted going to
see
therapy.
what we can
Not
do
because I
here.
thought I was sick, but because I needed to understand if I
Alright,
was being
'cause, the
unfair
shield is
if the
useful.
problem was me.
I don't
The
really
first
need
sessions
it.
were calm. The
I mean, at
therapist
least
listened.
another. Now,
She told
everyone's
me
about to
I was
comment like, "Yes, you
emotionally
do."
blocked, that I had to learn
you
to
might be right.
separate anger from love, and I began to believe that maybe, I could forgive. Until the third session, when
no
everything
blaze rods?
changed. The therapist pulled
Okay,
out a letter.
well,
One Lucia
we'll
had
take
given
our
her without telling me.
plugging in on the
In
high
it,
note, and then we'll
Lucia
head
said
back
I
to
was
where
controlling,
we came
that I
from.
had possessive
Here,
behaviors,
let's
that
see,
after
that's another
discovering the
blaze
truth,
spawner,
I'd
correct? Yep.
fallen into a
Alright,
paranoid
we'll just try one
episode.
more.
She even hinted I could be a risk
Come on,
to the
everybody.
child's emotional
Actually, I don't
well-being.
like this one.
I felt
They can fly
betrayed
around too
again.
much.
The therapist looked at me and said, have you ever raised your
okay.
voice at home?
So let's
Have you been
see
verbally
what else
violent?
we have down
Violent.
here. Okay,
Me,
I've
the one
been
who swallowed tears so as
there.
not to worry
Oh.
them. Me, who worked
Oh,
14-hour
okay.
days so everyone
Wow,
had what
this
they
is-
needed. Me, who never
was-
raised my
yeah,
voice in
pretty
front of
much
Tiago, not even once. I didn't
exactly
answer.
what I needed
I just
to have.
lowered my head. Because when no one believes you anymore, Even you start to stop believing yourself.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
And as if that weren't enough, I accidentally found out my mother had also spoken to the therapist in
Now, I
private.
would like to get,
She asked her to help me channel my anger healthily, not to let me throw everything away over a wounded ego. A wounded ego, that's what betrayal is called now.
Have I been up here?
While I tried to
think I
forgive,
have.
rebuild, reconnect with Tiago, Lucia
been up
kept
here.
seeing her lover.
And these
A
are the
friend sent me a
first
link to a
ones that I
private Instagram account that
looked
seemed
at,
inactive,
I
but there
believe.
she was, Lucia, with him,
Okay.
the same guy from years ago,
So that
the real father.
was a
Dinners,
relatively
hugs,
easy
laughter,
thing-
recent
easy
photos.
thing to do.
And there I was, going to therapy
can't
to control
remember,
my anger. I was the
what
crazy
you need for
one,
a
the
blaze
paranoid one,
or a
the one at
potion
fault for
thing.
everything. That night, I slept on the couch, not as punishment, but because I couldn't bear sharing the
brewing
same
stand, that's
mattress
what
with
it
the
is.
person who
Lost
had
the-
destroyed my
lost the
life
name for
twice
that.
and still smiled as if
But,
nothing had happened.
You know?
And I wonder, am I
whatever.
weak for still being here? Am I
So,
bad for not being able
here.
to forgive her? I should have left the first time and never looked back. I don't know, but I do know I don't trust anyone
Have I
anymore,
been?
not even myself.
Yeah,
Update
definitely
2.
been up here. That
I couldn't keep
one
living
had
like this.
diamonds.
After seeing
Now
the
I'm just trying
photos
to
of
find my
Lucia
way
with her
back.
lover, yes, Tiago's biological father, I broke inside. While I was trying to rebuild myself in therapy, to forgive the
Probably came up
unforgivable,
here.
she kept seeing him. It was no longer a
Down
mistake
here.
from the past. It was a present decision, a double life.
probably
And I was
came
the
from
only
up
idiot who didn't know,
here.
though I'd always suspected. I didn't shout. I didn't break anything. I just confronted her with the phone in
That
my
is where I
hand.
found my
Are you
first,
going to deny this too? It's not what you think.
diamonds, which means
Then
I
what is
probably
it?
came
A coincidence.
this
A tribute
direction.
to the past. He was always part of my life. But you're the one
Oh,
who
hello.
made things work.
Yep,
You
this
were the
is
right choice. The right choice. Not the loved
where I
one.
came from.
Not the chosen one. Just the convenient
Then
one.
from
I said
there,
nothing else.
I
I left the room, closed the door, and went
here.
straight to the kitchen.
Yep,
There were my
and
mother
going
and
back
sister
up.
sitting comfortably, accomplices,
And then we're
looking
going
at me like, this
a little
again.
more because
I
was
told
like, wow,
them
this is really
everything, with
bad.
proof, dates,
there's
screenshots,
my one
about the
torch.
secret
Or my two
account and the
torches.
recent pictures. My mother sighed.
So look at that. We did
We thought they weren't seeing each other anymore,
very
that it
well
was in the past.
for ourselves.
And if it wasn't, you were
Didn't
going to
I?
stay quiet anyway. Lucia made a
what
mistake, son.
being tired
But what
gets ya.
matters is that Tiago sees you as his dad.
Unfortunately, no
And
wither
me,
skulls,
who sees
but
me
that's
as anything
okay.
other than a
It's
provider.
not essential to be
My sister shot me a cold look. You're going to abandon a child who loves you just
It's a
because he
benefit,
doesn't share your blood?
you
How
know,
weak, really.
but we
Weak.
can
Yes,
continue on
a
with,
real man
you know,
stays. He steps up.
more
He
important
rebuilds.
things like
And that's when I exploded,
stuff we
because
would
after
do in
everything,
the
they still saw me as
then
the
look at
one
this
who
one,
had to
just
hold it all
hop back
together,
down,
like I was a
go down
bank
a
with
little
legs,
path,
a free
get
therapist,
home,
a
and start
decorative
brewing.
male figure for a
Now,
child I
on
didn't
the way
ask
back,
for.
I'm going to be harvesting
So
like,
I told
gold
them,
nuggets
don't call me anymore.
and
Don't ask me for
whatnot, just
anything.
things I
Don't
see
expect anything from me.
catch
I
my
won't pay for
attention.
university. I won't cover
Nothing
medications.
crazy, though.
I
Like,
won't put
I'll
one
harvest
more
this.
peso into that house. My sister stood up like she might hit me. You're selfish. I'm someone who no longer wants to be used. My mother started to cry.
Yep.
Are you going to destroy your family out of pride? I didn't answer. I went to my
yes, this
room,
is what I
packed
did.
my things, and left without looking back.
yeah, I
That was
see
the day
you,
I
and
stopped
I feel
being
like
the
you're gonna be a
exemplary
danger to me.
son, the ideal husband, and the substitute
I still
father,
got the kill.
and went back to being simply me. Am I
Well,
doing
gee.
the right thing? Am I the villain for not wanting to keep living this lie? Or am I just tired of being the only one who gives everything
go.
and gets nothing? I don't know yet,
And then
but
we'll
I know
just
this time I'm
follow
not coming
our-
back. Update 3. It's been 3 months since I left, since I said no more and
Pathway
became,
back, that
to
would've
them,
been bad.
the selfish one, the bad guy, the ungrateful one. And you know what? I was happy. I slept better,
Yeah,
ate what I wanted, woke
bum.
up without fear that someone needed me just to drain me. I had peace, and that was new to me. I moved into a small apartment. No luxuries,
Oh my gosh!
no TV, no decorations. I worked from home, freelance, just enough to live. To live for me, for the
Good.
first time. During those 3 months, I didn't receive a single message from Lucia, no photo of Tiago, not a word from my mother, not a sorry from my sister. And just when silence
Yeah,
was
I'm glad
starting to
I
feel
marked
like
out this
home,
path,
they
otherwise
began to
we
show
would
up one
really
by
be
one.
lost. And
First,
I'm
my
glad now
sister.
that I have
Can you help me
energy,
with tuition this semester?
you see what
I'm about to
happens.
lose the year.
We did have
Then
some
my
close
mother.
calls. There
I'm
were-
sick.
there are some
I need
things
my
that I could've
medications.
done
I thought we
better.
still mattered to you. Not a
But
single apology, not a you were
overall,
right,
you know,
just
that's
requests,
okay. We did
demands,
good.
as if nothing had happened.
Deserve
And then the
ourselves
letter
a sweet little
arrived,
treat.
a court summons. Lucia is suing me for child support for Tiago and for herself. My lawyer was clear.
Grab that.
Yes, the child isn't biologically mine, but I've been listed as the father since
hop back
birth.
up here.
I raised him, acknowledged him, supported him. In the
Oh, of
eyes of the law, that matters more than DNA. The filing said I had emotionally abandoned the minor, that Lucia
where'd I come
sacrificed her
from?
career to care for the home, that the child deserves to maintain his lifestyle, and that I must ensure that legally. So that's how it ends. punished
Okay.
for having
Yeah, that's not too
sincerely
bad.
loved a lie. What hurt most wasn't the lawsuit. It was my mother's message after she found out. Do the right thing. Come back.
I was like,
We're
where
waiting
did I
for
come
you.
from?
Your room is the same. My room. As if I were a teenager who had a
Dude,
tantrum.
really?
As if they hadn't
You
destroyed
guys
me.
are spawning more?
As if they still
Okay.
believed they could shove me
See how
back
it
into
is?
their mold. Am I a coward for not answering? Or am I simply learning to set boundaries? They think this lawsuit will bend me, but what they don't know is I'm no longer the same, and I'm not planning to stick around to watch.
Yeah,
Update
again,
4.
The Abyss
After receiving the
claims
court
some
summons,
skeleton.
I didn't break things, I didn't
Or dumb
cry,
idiot skeleton.
I didn't
I
yell.
don't think I can hit
I just
that
sat
down,
and
can
thought. There were
Hold
two
on.
paths. Fight tooth and nail in a system that already
it's kinda
sees
just
me
in a
as the father,
suspended state, it
or
looks
accept
like.
what everyone wants and stay tied down. I chose a third, lie.
Yeah, got him.
Yes, I pretended.
kill him.
I called Lucia.
But oh well.
I told her we needed
And
to
then here
talk,
we are, back
that I
at
didn't want to hurt Tiago, that I'd thought it
where we
over,
started.
that if she withdrew
Good.
the lawsuit we could reach a private agreement.
It's nice.
Her response, I knew you'd come to your senses. We needed you. He needs you.
Excellent.
Come back home. Your
Well, now
family
we've got
is ready
our
to start
good,
over. My mother sent a voice note. I'm so happy. I
We've got
told you
blaze
everything would
rods
be
and we know
fixed.
where to go if we
This
need
rough
more.
patch will pass. My sister wrote as if
Glad
nothing
I
had
did
happened.
that.
I already submitted the re-enrollment form.
potions.
I was counting
again,
on you.
Like
It was
things like
as if
fire
they expected
resistance will
I just
help me
needed
out
time
in
to be useful
hardcore.
again. What they didn't know was that while they congratulated me for
Night
coming to
vision
my
might help.
senses,
I
I
don't
was
know.
doing the following.
I don't really need
selling
it.
my
Night
things,
vision could help
closing
in
my
deep
bank
dark.
accounts, holding cash, processing my passport,
but-
contacting employers outside the country.
Yeah.
All in
you know.
silence. No word, no hint. Lucia asked me to attend a preliminary mediation. I went.
But that
I
was a
smiled. I told her I would
much
take
better than
responsibility,
yesterday's
that I'd
attempt at
reorganize my
recording.
income soon, that I
So
only
much better.
needed
Oh,
time.
so happy.
She hugged me and
then we'll
whispered,
go back,
You're
and
doing the
honestly,
right
I
thing.
think we
But
can-
what she doesn't know is that I'm not doing the
We'll
right
take
thing
a
for
look.
them.
I was going to.
I'm doing the right thing for me. I'm tired of living with guilt for decisions
I was
others
going
made for
to
me,
look
of being pushed to
for
save a
a
family
village
that
with
never
a
chose me,
cleric.
only used me.
So we can do
They've
some
treated me like a
adventuring,
traitor
you
when
know,
all
take
I
a
did
look
was
around
stop
our world.
betraying myself.
I don't see any
I don't know
problem
if
with that.
disappearing
There's
is right.
no reason
I don't know if one day
not
Tiago
to
will
adventure.
understand.
We're just
But I
not
do
gonna
know
get
no
super
one's going to
invested,
stop
you
me
know.
this time.
Adventuring-
Because while everyone
what I've
expects me to
learned is
return,
adventuring is a
I
good
already
way to
have
get
one
a
foot
lot
out the
of,
door. Update 5.
what is it? You
I
know,
thought
like
I'd seen
unique
it all,
items, like
that they couldn't
the
break me any
lodestones
further.
would be nice
I
to
was
have.
wrong.
It's not
The day of the
necessary,
hearing,
but,
I realized they
you know,
weren't
if we're
fighting
gonna
for
be
love.
playing in a
They were
hardcore
hunting
world
me.
where we wanna get invested
Lucia
in,
didn't withdraw the
then it
lawsuit.
might be, you know,
Despite my
worth
soft words
investing
and
in.
pretending I was willing to cooperate, she insisted the judge
Look
set a
at that.
number, a legal, irrefutable
Nary
agreement.
a scratch
She said
on
it was
me.
for Tiago, but deep down it was about control, money,
get this junk
punishment.
outta here. Let's
When
throw
I
you
entered the
in there.
courtroom, the
Good.
first thing I saw
Good.
was my mother and
Good.
sister sitting on Lucia's side.
got golden
And
carrots
even
as
knowing
well. We can
everything that
also get a
happened,
horse,
something in me broke.
which is cool.
During the hearing, Lucia's
Our
lawyer
storage
painted
really
the
hasn't
perfect
changed
picture
that much.
that I was a
We did get a
present,
ton
loving father, that we shared a
of-
stable life,
Oh, nope.
that the child recognizes me as his
get a
paternal
ton
figure, that my departure was sudden and harmful,
resources from
that
the nether.
Lucia lost
And
job
we did get some
opportunities to
goodies.
care
Look
for
at
the
that, like
home,
we got
that the child deserves to maintain his
nether
lifestyle. My opportunities, my emotional stability,
Let me-
my right to know
let
the
me
truth,
let me make
none
a
of that
note here
mattered.
real quick.
My sister took the
wait,
stand
no,
and
down
said I'd become
there.
unpredictable,
Back.
paranoid, that since
Move
finding
out.
out I act with
Boom.
resentment
Boom.
and emotional violence.
There.
My mother cried
You
and
can
told
go
the
there, you can go
judge,
there.
voice trembling, that I wasn't the same,
Smithing
that I
things
was
up.
making decisions out of
Nice.
anger, and that the child shouldn't pay
What
for
are we
adults'
looking
mistakes.
for?
Yes,
I don't know.
my
Let me do
mother,
some
the one
basic
who watched me
organization
break,
here.
the one who knew the whole
Clear up
truth,
some stuff.
testified against me.
I'm
My
not gonna
lawyer
do
did what
all
he
of it,
could,
though.
showed
We're not-
evidence,
we're not
dates,
organizing things.
contradictions.
This
He said I was
When we,
deceived,
like,
manipulated,
set up
and that
groundworks and
Lucia
stuff and
still had
hardcore,
contact with the
and
biological
actual
father.
hardcore, not hardcore
But the judge
boot
was
camp.
clear.
With
The
then
defendant
we'll
is
do it.
listed as the
For now,
legal
just-
father and acted as such for 4 years. He cannot now refuse the assumed responsibility.
There's my
Therefore, monthly support for the minor
You?
and for the mother, retroactive, and the obligation
Not
to
mushrooms
remain a
growing?
stable
sticks.
figure.
I don't know.
They condemned me for having been
it
a good
looks like
father, for having loved. Lucia didn't cry. She
tell.
smiled. My mother
Yourself
hugged
some
me and
mushroom
said,
stew.
I told you. You just had to do the right thing from the start.
There's
We're
no-
waiting at home. Your room is the same.
Let's
My
see.
room. After all this,
got everything
do they
I
think I'm
need.
going to return like a kid who pulled a prank? I left without looking back, with a knot in my chest
And
that didn't loosen the
this-
whole way home, but not to
They
their
don't wanna
home.
shovel
To
it,
mine,
actually.
the empty, quiet one that belongs to me. And in that silence I understood,
even though I only
this
have
story is no
18,
longer theirs. It's
all right
mine
with
now.
me.
And soon they won't even be
You
in
should
it.
give me a
Update 6.
Honestly, a decent,
After the hearing, everyone thought they had
like,
me,
shovel.
that they'd tamed me. That,
Yeah,
as
break it,
always,
that's good.
I'd end up doing what was expected
double-
of me.
you didn't double-
Lucia
but
won
you
the
got more
suit.
durability.
My
There
mother
you go.
hugged me
Win-win.
as if I'd recovered from a whim. My sister
I
wrote wrote to
we
me
can
as if
set up
nothing had happened,
my nether
and I
wart farm
pretended.
right here.
Once again, I agreed with them. I nodded. I said I just needed a few days to
And then in the
readjust.
morning,
The truth?
make sure
I had everything ready. The day
we'll
after the
set
hearing,
off
I marked a date on my calendar with one word:
to
freedom. I'd sold the car,
what's it
closed my
called?
accounts, withdrawn cash, processed my passport, accepted
set
a
off
remote
and look
job
for
offer from abroad,
some,
and most importantly, I wasn't afraid anymore. That night, I wrote 2
villages.
letters.
There we
One
go.
for Tiago.
I don't know.
I don't know when
direction
you'll read
we
this.
should go
Maybe
in.
never. I only want
Not
you to know
sure.
what I felt for you was real. Every story,
But
every
I do know
hug,
I'm gonna be
every
taking my
kiss
boat.
on your forehead. None of this is your fault,
can find
but
my
I
boat.
can't keep living a life
My
I
boat
didn't choose.
Is
If
there
one
a
day
boat
you
in
want to
here?
find me, I'll be
Where is my
okay,
boat?
free,
Oh,
but
I
with
know
you
where
in
the
my
boat is.
heart. And another for my
Oh, did my
mother.
boat get
You don't
destroyed
owe me
when I
anything
died?
anymore, but I don't owe you anything
No.
either. Don't look for
Okay.
me. Don't call
So it
me.
should be in
Don't
the
wait for
skeleton
me.
spawner?
I don't want to return to a house where I
Also,
was
do you like my
useful
bridge
but
here?
never loved. At dawn, I took the first
Quite
flight
nice,
I
quite
could.
nice.
One
Let's
backpack,
see what's
one
down here.
passport, no goodbyes. No tears, no rage, only certainty. I didn't want to die surrounded by people who never chose me, only needed me. Today, I'm in another country,
Yup.
far away, no furniture, no family, no certainties, but with something I never had before: peace. I breathe without guilt. I walk without fear. And for the first time, my
Alright,
story
my
doesn't
boat
revolve
should be
around
down here
anyone
somewhere.
else. Update 7. It's been
No
3
boat.
months since I
Okay, yeah, I
disappeared,
did get
since I
lost in
left
the-
everything behind.
The nether
The
depth.
house that wasn't mine, the family that never
State.
chose me, and the life
Oh,
others
sorry.
built using my back as their foundation.
It's
I'm in another country. I won't say where,
boat.
but it's a place where no one calls
I
me
mean, it
dad
was, like,
just
you
to
know,
use me,
spruce,
where no one expects
so
me to
there's
pay
that,
bills
but
I didn't sign or
outside
carry
of that,
guilt for
who
things I
cares?
didn't do. I work in a
Let me
cafe,
steal one of
serve,
these
clean.
villagers'
It doesn't
beds real
sound
quick.
glamorous, but you know what?
Actually,
Every cent
yeah,
I earn is
these
mine.
guys I'm
Every
gonna
minute of my day is mine.
use these
And while I
guys.
wipe tables, they
Trading,
keep writing
I
their
know,
version
will
of the
help,
story.
um,
My sister
in-
posted that she had to drop out of university
this case,
because
you
her
know,
selfish brother left her
the
adrift.
trades.
My mother
eh,
shared photos of me as a
we're
child
not-
with captions like,
nah,
"A
I'm
mother's
not gonna
love
spend too
can't
much
always
time
keep a child
on
from
it.
getting lost." Lucia
But
posts
anything
ambiguous
else,
stories.
like,
Some men don't leave out of necessity,
anything else,
but out of cowardice.
I'm fine with.
The most ironic thing is they haven't even realized they freed me, because
Bash
now I
down
don't
my
have to
door.
answer them, explain
Right,
anything,
dummy?
or go back. Sometimes I wonder if Tiago will grow up believing I abandoned him, and it hurts, because he was the only truth in so many lies. But I also know I didn't abandon him. I just let go of a family that used me as a shield to cover their choices. Am I the villain in their
Okay.
stories?
Well, let's
Yes,
see what
and
we
I'm
got.
fine with that. Because for the first time, I don't need to be anyone's
Um,
hero, or the perfect dad, or the
bed.
exemplary
No,
son,
boat.
or the provider brother. I'm just a man who chose to save himself. And if that makes me the bad guy, fine.
There we go.
I'll be the bad
Alright.
guy. But at least this
Now,
time,
let's
I'm
throw
free.
my